Hello and welcome. It's Andrew here with ForexDayTrader.com. I've got a brief tutorial here that I want to share with you about drawing trend lines and how I use trend lines, what's the purpose of trend lines, and how to know where to put your trend lines. Um, so one thing that used to confuse me about drawing trend lines was that, whoops, I'm sorry, got some alarms here. So about drawing trend lines is that the market changes, and I always kind of looked at a trend line. I guess my first initial thoughts were that it's a fixed line. Well, to some degree it is. But as the market moves and makes new highs and new lows, the trend lines can be adjusted so that you are aware of the various support and resistance levels. It's basically more what we should be focused on with the trend lines. We're looking at support and resistance levels. And like for an example, I'm looking at a 5-minute chart here, and there was a swing low down here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line off of that. And you always use, once you see 2 points, that's the definition, so to speak, if you will, of a trend line. So that's how you get your trend line. Once you find 2 points, then you've established a trend line. So the market is coming down to this trend line level, and in this case right here, as you can see, it bounced off of it, which is something that I like to use the trend lines for, to see if the market is going to push through it or if it's going to bounce off and go the other way. Here again, now since we drew these 2 trend lines, we got hit again. Now, if I was following this market, typically what I like to do so I can keep up with the current trend, you notice we had another swing low right here, and then the market took off. So I might do something like this. And I know it can kind of clutter the chart a little bit, but then you're kind of following, you're drawing your trend lines, you're following the trend. So if it does break through this, possibly you might think, well, it could go down to this next trend line. So you're going to have a couple of points of resistance here. But you also know that this is like your main trend line. You can use an analogies as you go, and you get better at it the more experience you have at it. And then up here at our ceiling, what we call support, we're seeing another trend taking place, and you can start doing your trend lines like that. Now if I just remove this one, we see that we had a bounce off here. We might be predicting, well, I know it's probably headed back up at least to this trend line. Now in this case this is only like 5 pips, but you're able to read the market. And quite often what I'll do is I might use price action, like maybe an inside bar or something, if we had a break of an inside bar, or maybe like a shadow type candlestick. You can use candlesticks as like your, maybe a confirmation to enter an order. Like in this case here, you had the hammer, you had a reversal, it went up, it failed off this trend line. You had your 2 points, you would have drew your trend line, it failed off of there. And anticipation possibly, you say, well, that's a sell signal, it failed. We got a candlestick in a pin, what they call a pin, some call a hammer candlestick. You might be looking to sell at least down to this trend line. It's just as an example. Now I've got a couple of moving average lines here that not really using as far as trend lines go, but and I know it might clutter the chart a little bit, but this is just a to help other traders. I've been trading now for many years, and when I first started using trend lines, I had some confusion about, how the market moves. So how do I know where the trend line is? Well, if you just follow the 2 points, you're going to do fine. But keep in place, the major ones. Like, for an example, this is like a major low, another major low. You want to keep those in place. Now, if it adjusts, you can go ahead and adjust it. And basically, what I use them for is just as a point of reference as to what's happening, what happens around these trend lines. That's what I'm looking at. Many traders are known for trading through the trend lines. Back here is an example of that. You could have drawn a trend line here off of these 2 major points, and then possibly, as you saw, another point up here, something like that. And then as the market comes down, it breaks through, it closes through the trend line. A lot of traders would take a trade there. If I do have trend lines like this, a couple of trend lines, I'll wait and want to see what happens down here. So in this case, it came down, kind of broke through, you had your pullback, and then it went down, and then you could have possibly, once it broke through that again and broke through this low and had a close below that, you could have sold it for a trade there, something like that. You want to confirm your trades, but this is I'm not trying to give you a strategy or anything here. I'm just telling you what could happen around trend lines, how to draw the trend lines, and just some good information. I also have a free strategy that I am giving away if you sign up on my email list here at www.forexdaytrader.com. It's simply, you have to sign up so I have a way of giving you access to the strategy. I have like 4 or 5 videos on a website that you'll get a code to, and you can sign in and get access. I actually use the Heikin-Ashi indicator in that method, which is something that I'm doing now. I like to develop strategies, and it's something that I do. I have a few that I use to profit from, and I have this Heikin-Ashi strategy. Here, I'll just show you a little bit about it. So here we have, I went to the Euro Great British Pound chart, and I put the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks on here. And I use, on these pullbacks, I show you how I enter trades within a trend. You also get this, I'll give you this, this is a trend indicator, this custom trend indicator. It turns red when it's in a downtrend and aqua blue when it's in an uptrend. And you can adjust it. I believe it's at an 80 period right now. You can change that if you want, to 40 or whatever, and it'll adjust the curve in it. And it's just kind of a cool color code to show you when the trends changed, and so you get that along with the strategy I'm giving away. And I mainly do this because it's just a way for me to get back. I do well now with trading. I earn a nice little extra income. I do work a full-time job, but it's something I like to do, and I like to show others and benefit. You'll also get some other free stuff. I'll send you some success tips and some more videos of different trading tips. So I hope this is very helpful for you. Again, just be diligent with your trading. Draw your trend lines so you just kind of have a read on the market, kind of see what's happening around these trend lines, and then maybe you have a good entry, a price action or something you can use when you're around these trend lines to get you a good entry. That's one way of using them, or you can use them as when the market breaks through them, clearly is broken through. You could use them that way to possibly pick up some trades. Again, this is a 5-minute chart, but you can use them on any time frame, obviously. So good trading to you. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll have some more tutorials coming up. Take care. Have a great day.